YouTube, it's your boy Mike T's back at you with another video. In this video, we're going to discuss how to flip out a one-of-a-kind custom using direct-to-film transfers and just overall knowledge and common use for direct-to-film. If you guys are ready, let's grade. By the way, the outfit that I'm rocking, from the hat down to the Los Angeles native shirt with the LA on the back, shout out to Kanoa Creations, aka Big Brando. Make sure you head on over and visit Big Brando or visit Kanoa Creation Shop. Also, while you're over there, head on over to the homie Local Roots. Tap in, subscribe, also purchase you something. Once again, that's Big Brando on all social media platforms. But if you guys are ready to get into this video, let's grade. Yeah, 4X, we don't carry those in the shop. I ran to my local Joann's or Michael's or Walmart, and I actually copped a couple of hoodies, 4X, and a long sleeve t-shirt. So let me show you guys a couple of the prints that I will be using to utilize this job. Yeah, that's crispy. The only thing I'm missing is my King Grizzly, which I might go get stamped on there. But yeah, so we're going to be utilizing this old school elf right here, the original elf, and these are my DTF transfers. We're going to press this onto a 4X. We're going to embellish the arms with the Cleveland, and we might do a little something extra. I'm not too sure exactly how we're going to bring it out, how we're going to make it stand out, but you guys already know the gist and the idea. So right now we're letting our heat press actually heat up. Let's see if we can adjust that. And we're going to follow the same routine, the same method that I always follow, which is to get that prominent center crease line. Since we got two, we just gonna knock it down to one. And basically, I like to show this in every video because I feel like this is a tool necessarily needed. I use the Jersey's brand typically, but this is a 4X. We're gonna touch shoulder to shoulder, bam to bam. This is crucial because you want that prominent seam line to be dead smack in the center. And another thing that I always do, but I very rarely say, if this isn't even and your heat press isn't even, then doing all of this lining up absolutely means nothing. So in other words, let me adjust this a bit. Make sure everything is symmetrical. Make sure everything is lined up the way that it's supposed to. And if you're using a laser, it'd be best not to use it on the same desk that you're actually pressing on, as this is going to move. So I say all of that to say this. When I'm doing all of this lining up with the actual sweatshirt and I'm lining up with the bolt in the back, I'm making sure everything is symmetrical because we don't want our image like this or like this. I mean, now sometimes we mean to do that, but then other times we don't. So just a sneak tip. All right. So I'm going to press on here, and I'm pretty sure it's not showing that well, but I'll pick it up on my other camera. As soon as I press play, a bit more. All right, I have it on the edge of my platen, and normally what I'm talking about when I go to close and fold it is right here. This is the yoke of the collar. I at least start somewhere down here on the heat platen, which I'm not going to show on this camera. They're going to see more so on this camera right here. This is the yoke of down, at least 4 finger lengths. So when I lay it onto my heat press, I'm envisioning 4 finger lengths away from the yoke of the collar. That's what I'm talking about whenever I do say that. Then we'll just close it for not too long, not too much pressure. Right now I got it on 320 degrees. I'm gonna prematurely stop that because my crease line is now in there. Bam. And bam. All right, now let's put that first image on here. Typically I can't, and I normally don't show it, but I'm going to try to get a close-up on this bolt that's on the back of my heat press that I'm always telling you guys that I follow. And we're going to take this one down and do it. Okay, so in between right there on the back of my heat press, you see that little silver bolt that's inside the hole? That's the bolt that I'm talking about, which lines up to the back of the heat press. If you look back there to the back of the heat press, bam, you see that bolt? That bolt is what I'm always talking about lining this line up with. So when you pull it back, you see that bolt back there? You see the line, it comes all the way up to the yoke of the collar. That's generally what I'm talking about. There's the other camera actually picking it up so we could do a couple different angles. Also, another public service announcement. I'm going to try to get it on both cameras. Content is king. So there's no such thing as putting out too much content. I need everybody to remember that. Just try not to make it a repetitive content and try to make it different angles and points in which you are talking about. What I mean is, a lot of people say that the YouTube game is being oversaturated, especially in the t-shirt industry. Well, if you let that determine what it is that you're doing out here, and you're based off of other people's opinions, you may end up losing and not winning. Trust me. Stay in your own lane. Stay consistent with what it is you do. And don't worry about what nobody got to say. At the end of the day, if you're doing you, continue to do you. You will be great. Trust me. We actually have our 4X lined up on here. And this rule applies to any size shirt. I'm just saying 4X. So for 4X, 4 fingers away from the collar is not enough because it's such a bigger shirt. You may want to go down to 4 1/4 or 4 1/4 all the way down to the back, all the way down for the center. Take our first image, bam, bam, and we're going to actually put it on here. I love creating one-of-a-kind customs, but I don't do it often. But I do love it. And the phone call in the middle of it all. Yeller. So all the new subscribers, I greatly appreciate you for coming on and joining the T-Gang family, as I am on a fresh new journey on the road to success with DTF printing. Also making one-of-a-kind customs and displaying everything that I'm going through, the ups and downs, the good times, the bad times, as well as figuring out and troubleshooting this DTF machinery. Please subscribe if you are new here, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up and turn on the notifications so you'll be notified every time that I go live or I have a new video. And last but not least, yo, I am on the road to 5K. Let's go. To be at, using the yoke of the collar, as you guys can see here in my image. So it is about 4 finger lengths down still. I'm going to scoot it just a tad. Bam, like so. Now we're just going to close. What I like to do, and this is not recommended, but what I like to do is I wipe the actual carrier sheet down after I've pressed, and then I peel, and then I redo it. So simply like this. Follow me, guys. Take me something like so, something old like so, and I just rub it. Then I come here and I just peel it off. Smooth peel, all right? But then I take the same carrier sheet, I place it right back on top, and I give it an additional 5 seconds, okay? This is not something that you have to do. It's just something that I do, so I know that it's actually into the shirt. And it's helped me thus far. I've been doing it for years. Just another 5 seconds to make sure that she's into the shirt. Remove that right there. Nice hand feel you should have. Old school elf. Yeah. And I did an oversized elf because this is an oversized sweatshirt. So yeah, I wanted them to feel like, you know, it's covering the whole thing. Now we're going to hit the back and the side and send her off because this one is done. And the same goes for the any arms that you're using. Just usually when you're putting your image onto the arms, make sure it's facing the people that's looking outside your arm. So the word should never be facing you at all. It should be facing the customer. So I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Right now, this is the back of the sweatshirt. The hood is peeled forward, which is cool. And I'm just going to slap the wording on here, Cleveland Browns. From somewhere, bam, it's football. But I want it to face people. I don't want it to face me. If I want it to face me, I would put it on like so. And it would face me. But I want it to face the opposite end, or to people walking up. So what I'll do is I'll make sure I got the back of the hoodie I'm following that center seam line. I'm going all the way down. So whenever they flash their arm like this, you'll be able to read on the opposite side. Let's go down for that close. Let her do her thing. Same steps here. Follow that center seam line, which you should already have created if you have been following any of my directions here on YouTube. You'll be able to read on the opposite side. Let's go down for that close. Let her do her thing. Like so. Let's try to wipe her off. It may vary being on the sleeve. The pressures may be uneven because sometimes the film behind it has something extra on it. But no, there we go. That peel came off beautifully, as you guys just seen. And for this camera, the opposite. So this is the back, being the back. We want that arm to have the actual image facing the opposing people walking up. So if I was to put it up like this, you'll be able to read that that says Cleveland. Okay? All right. YouTube. All right, so I did end up putting something on that other sleeve. However, it was time for me to get up out the shop. I did get footage of it, but it was a little too shaky as I'm still working with the camera angles in this new Canon. So what you see laid before you is the customs that I had knocked down that little setting for a couple of the family members, and a saying that my uncle had said to me and my brother when we were practically babies, and had been saying to us until we got into our adult life: if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And what that means is stay prepared at all times. You never know.